Hello and welcome, I'm JD, and today we're going to cast a game between Avalon and Small Cake. We are playing on Coral. Now this is a 1v1 at the 6,000 point limit. Alright, so Coral, you've got 5 points, one behind E, one under this lip here for D, B's behind a little lip here, and then we've got A over the back and C in the middle of this gully. So what have we got? I'm actually not sure who's the prefixes on either one. Actually, I think Small Cake is love, and I think Avalon is UNSC from, if I was to hazard a guess. Yes, because blue is team 1, orange is team 2. So what have we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 ships here. Looks like he's got a couple going over the top. They deployed in pretty quickly. Coral's an interesting one because it's very top heavy, but at the same time you've also got a fair amount of cover. So let's have a look at Small Cake. He's got a gun heavy cruiser with point defense, a second gun heavy cruiser, a scout here that is a spyglass or a spyglass scout. Does it tell you in there? Maybe a second spyglass scout. Down here we've got electronic support, so pinards on both. Another pinard ship and another spyglass corvette by the looks of it. Spyglass? Let's have a look. I'm not sure what this one is. Microreactor, berthing. Maybe this one's designed to go capture things. So he's got two main the core of his weapons are, two heavy cruisers with missiles. So we can have a look at these missiles here. SGM 200s, some hybrids, size 2 hybrids, and some size 1s. And so that'll be the mainstay of his force, plus some small scouts to move around, and some detection in terms of the frigates here, which are more for the pinard tracks. So if we jump across to Avalon, he's running two light cruisers. Excuse me. Both these seem to have... Got to remember that I can actually check out what they have there. So he's got size 3 hybrids and some size 3s. If I zoom in a little bit, size 2s. Size 2, size 3s. So they're all missiles, and then all missiles again, I would say probably the exact same loadout. No completely different missiles there. And now I can't see what those missiles are in terms of radars, but that's okay. Sprinters, so one sprinter here with some missiles, size 3 hybrids and torpedoes with pinards on the front. And are they jammers? Blanket, I gotta remember down here, bullseye jammers. Another one next off the list with blankets and bullseyes. Did that have any blankets? Nope. This one over here, already getting some missiles coming out. The scouting missiles from the size 2 hybrids, releasing some of these size 1 anti-missile missiles, intercepting in the middle. Size 1, so it looks like he's got the exact same. Again, so from having a look at it, both sides seem to have a core in terms of either heavy cruisers or light cruisers, and then scouting supporting missiles. So both are doing alpha strikes with their missiles here, just trying to get any of these small ships that are undefended enough that they can't survive a missile salvo. So we can see that B and A have already been captured by Avalon here. These light cruisers are pretty fast. They all look like they have waypointable missiles as well. And some size 2 missiles there. Scouts be gone. We don't know what type they are, but they are identifying. So they've either identified and are picking up, or they are just simply waypointed in here. Some of the size 1 anti-missile missiles surviving there, but there is no point defense on these light cruisers. So a couple missile hits that can get through, a couple missiles that can get through the anti-missile missiles are then going to be able to do some damage here. Now the Liberté, apologies if I'm saying these wrong, has moved out of B. So what you've seen is he's moved in, and he's moved straight out. So subsequent missiles here aren't going to be able to identify or make contact. It's getting out of that engagement zone. We've also got the article now also moving in the front. I wouldn't be surprised if the two ships over here are now going to loop around into point C, just trying to deny that capture. Now, as you can see, it doesn't really have a lot of, again, point defense. It's just got the anti-missile missile. So we'll go check out the point defense over here on these heavy cruisers as well. But at the moment, just flying across the top. Now, these are hybrids. Sorry if that started to burst your ears with the sounds. But yes, this is a hybrid now, which will likely, now that they've scouted, is actually going to, excuse me, is actually going to be the assault onto the ships here. Single size 3 hybrid, looking like it's probably going to engage in E, so they're just trading missiles here. And it's now 3-1, so, sorry, 3-0 at the moment, but soon to be 1. Avalon will then be able to maintain control of these 3 and then pull out. So before I jump over to the heavy cruisers just to check out their point defense, there's 2 things I want to look at. Again, you can see Avalon's moved in, captured, and moved out. He hasn't moved and advanced forward. He's actually pulled back. Now, that's an interesting tactic that you might not normally see, because if he had remained there or if he had advanced forward, these missiles here would have engaged. So by pulling back, they've just arced in there. These hybrid missiles, probably not cheap. It's probably 100 maybe points there, depending on how they're built. Yes, I am wasting, but we don't know exactly what he has. Smiley face, frowny face is trading there. Yeah, so if we check the point defense out over here, it's all Auroras. And where's the other one? All Auroras. So they should be more than capable of dealing with all of the... well, they should be capable of dealing with a significant amount of missiles, as the other scout has been captured, has captured point E, and now point D is also being captured. So again, kept moving in, taking the point, moving back out. Now let's just have a look at positioning. You can see a network of spyglass ships up the top by the looks of it. Active. No, sorry, these are all Pinards. So all these Pinard ships up here trying to provide triangulation. If we have a look, I can't tell if they've got their radars turned on or off, unfortunately. So they're either going to be detecting, or if Small Cake here is actually turned his radars off, he's not going to be identified. Does this have a front line? Yes, that's a front line.
The enemy secured zone Dagger.
Front line there. So this ship here should soon be able to see the Floof. This heavy cruiser. Heavy cruisers appear at basically the maximum range of most radars. So because I don't have a tool to tell you distance between these ships, pretty sure I don't. I do not. Then you're going to expect that these ones are detected. So at the front line, it's that like 8K. If it's within 8K, it's gonna be detected here. Now, we can make an assumption that he has seen it, although there's nothing detected up here. So this yellow little icon shows that it's detected. This one's been detected, but all the other ships have remained undetected. So 2 size 3 hybrids, maybe? No, just torpedoes coming straight down. The Auroras on the Floof should be more than capable of dealing with it. Yes, they do. And in response, some size 2 hybrids. Now, that should be more than enough to destroy this ship here. There we go, arcing through, but they miss. So that's an interesting one. Do they have any way to come back? No, they don't.
Securing zone common.
So with Avalon moving back off, Love's now moving in to take point C. We've got some torpedoes here that, if they have enough range, potentially will make it. And if we jump back over here, spotted, locked, you can see the locked icon there, 450s clipping just through the side. You've got a couple of these size 2 missiles that are being fired up here. It does look like maybe they're looking as in they're looking to be jammed, and then the home on jamming will work. I can't remember off the top of my head what that's called, but the 450 is just missing there. Size 3 torpedoes here just missing there, but will connect on the Love. The Love taking a fair amount of damage to the magazine. CIC here as well, resulting in an atmospheric leak, but it looks like it's still under control. But if these second points here take it, it should be destroyed. They mustn't have a huge amount of maneuverability because they are missing, but you can see the drives are disabled, CIC is disabled, and the points of sadness has been removed. But it has done its job. It has taken point C, and that will now slowly start to swing the points back into Small Cake's favor, assuming that Avalon doesn't go off and take that. Now the Liberté has lost its drive. Has lost its drive. There is a fire control lock with the drives gone and a little bit of drift. The 450s here should now take it out fairly quickly. The Whiplash drive is taking a few criticals with an atmosphere leak. Those size 1 hybrids are still missing for some reason. So that's a bit interesting as to why that's occurring, because it's not moving very fast. It is approaching from a fairly good position. Do not jam the boat, but they should be able to take this one out. It is still alive, but this final missile salvo, if it connects, should actually destroy it. Now, unlike Avalon, Small Cake has kept one of his scouts down on point D. This is the one that has Pinard, so it probably wants to come up a little bit more on this map, maybe sit it back a little bit to help provide that situational awareness. But again, these size 2 missiles have been seduced by chaff by the looks of it. Nope. I think the trails are just seeing it miss. I think they're expecting it to be jammed or be radar detected, and it's just not working. Sorry, I'm forgetting the types of missiles as I'm talking at the moment. I need a bit of a cheat sheet, I think, because they changed all the names and what they do. All right, so Avalon, he's got 2 of his missile boats on either side of the map, so he does have pretty good coverage. He's got some terminal weaves now being placed onto these ships. Now he does get a hit on to the heavy cruiser here, as well as to actually no, not to the La Spy. So second rounds occurring. Some of them are being taken down by the Auroras, but he just needs to get 1 or 2 through. Doesn't look like that last one made contact, but he did get a couple hits. Did take out one of the Auroras, some of the ammunition elevators, and a cannon. So destroyed one of the Auroras and damaged another. Now that's obviously important because every subsequent missile volley is going to be a little bit easier to get through. You just need to chip away at that point defense. And with 6 restores, there are a few occurring back here. So the first Aurora here was being restored. This one's being repaired. That one's being repaired. So going for the offensive and defensive capabilities to bring back online. Liberty, I don't know why I have such an issue saying that, is distracting the attention from that heavy cruiser though, which has been spotted. Sorry, which hasn't been spotted. The one in the middle here, moving towards point C, has been spotted. We've seen Avalon now try to move back in and capture this one here. He is jettisoning a number of missiles out. They look like anti-missile missiles just based on the trail, because each of the missiles has a distinctive trail. Intercepting there, the scouts be gone, and the hybrids, which did miss. Now, fair missile salvo here. It looks like he's done a time on target attack. with the other light cruiser. I did miss a bit of it, might catch it in post-production. But you can see that the first one here has been hit on the bow there. Aurora's now opening up. He's got the point defense coming out, intercepting a couple. First salvo has been engaged. Aurora's starting to... What else he got? He's down 3 Auroras. He's got 2 operational. This one here could do some damage. Yeah, there we go. You can see all the damage internally that has now occurred. As he does try to pull it back in. Now, this is the time to sort of press that advantage. Maybe clear fire on that and just focus on retreating out. DC lockers, Aurora's trying to be brought back online. The CIC here did take a bit of damage, but it is still functional. And I think the game is frozen. All right, it's back. There we go. So now missiles are being exchanged on either side. He's still trying to cap that small ship in point C. The small ships in this game, not only do they provide that detection, but they are a lot faster for the major pieces of each side, which are the missiles, which are the heavy cruisers. Now, if Small can eventually outlast all the missiles, then he will be able to sort of clean up, because they are the major parts, able to then take out pretty much everything else in the game, but they just need to survive all of the missile attempts. HEKP there, just look at all that on that heavy cruiser. That was perfectly done by the Artemis, ripping through the proof. He's really taken significant damage there. The cannons are out, berthing is gone. Let's have a look. All right, hold shift. CIC was also damaged, so quite deadly. And I wouldn't be surprised too if that's Jester. So I think they're the exact same missiles. I think these are the main damage dealers now that Avalon has been able to push through some of the point defense of the 2 heavy cruisers. Now these size 2 missiles, sorry, are coming out, just starting to hit through each of, yeah, there you go, size 2s. I just started to rip from bow to stern. Still not detected, so I'm wondering if he's just blind firing. The proof on the other side, we missed what happened here, but it looks like he may have survived some of them, but as a result, he's traded off on his eyes, so the use by me has been eliminated. So 2 ships destroyed by Small, but Avalon maintaining his vision network up the top. Surprising enough, the Liberté actually came back online, so this is a reason why sometimes it's worth having a DC locker, just to be able to bring everything back in terms of by putting out the fires that do occur. It looks like he had a small, so he's got a small DC locker, so he's able to actually restore his drive, which was destroyed earlier, and because his main engine's at 0%, it's not actually destroyed, so you'll have components that go from 100 down to 0, and then they need to take additional damage, which will be above the damage threshold, damage threshold. So if you know you have a damage threshold of say 30, then you need to do 30 damage to take it from 0 to destroyed. So if you're doing something less than that, you can basically keep plinking away and not actually destroy that final component, which makes reinforced components really, really strong against small pieces of like small pieces of weapons. Spyglass. Some more jesters. Now these are doing pretty well. The one downside at the moment is that I can't see what these are. So like a scry would tell you what type of missile it is. I do have to guess. Looks like he's going for the eyes. They're splitting up. Maybe he's gone 2-2. He's got some more hits on the front there. You can see that they took hits at the front on these main components. The damage still being absorbed in this frontal area, but the I Spy was actually taken out. So no engine, power was destroyed, does have fire in the berthing. This one has no damage control, so it's going to be stuck where it is. No ability to restore and come back online. So eventually over time that one will just burn, but should be okay. Now the wink of an eye has made its way from that sort of point defense, that vision network that was floating up the top here, and has now gone up and over down into E, whilst the other scout has now moved around. So trying to get a bit of a detection up there, but they're both using pinards, and I imagine they've both got their radars off, so they're probably not really noticing each other. So this one here has been identified there by active enemy sensors. Avalon otherwise hasn't been detected, and neither have the rest of the ships. The Proof, just making some repairs by the looks of it, has been repaired, has taken a fair amount of damage. And if I jump back across as we come and have a look at these hybrids, actually I want to keep this in so you can see what sort of damage has been applied. You can see that some of it has been getting through to the reactors and has been getting through to the main power supply. Still got 2 restores, and what's that, 4 damage control teams as well. So cannons and magazines are coming back. You needs that antenna. Antennas are probably one of those things you should always prioritize, because you want to get those communications. You want to pass those tracks from other ships, such as your scouts, into your actual combat vessels. Light cruiser here is now making its way out of cover. Still has 12 missiles, 12, 13, 17, 20. Still got about 20 missiles on that one. And if we have a look at the other light cruiser, also making its way out of cover now, also still got about 13. Still got this one's still got about 40 missiles left.
The enemy is securing zone eclipse.
So light cruiser, the Corvette now moving itself down. You can see that the way he's positioning it is that it's going to basically rest on the ocean floor here, I guess you could say, out of direct line of sight of any of the cannons. There is a cannon ship still around here somewhere. There it is, but doesn't have line of sight, don't think so. Pinard ship here, taking a strike right on top. The archers, a couple of them are missing. Just want to track, but it looks like this ship up here has been detected, because there is a bit of a spray of missiles. That, or he's going for these light cruisers over here. Now, as the 2 light cruisers have moved forward, everyone's starting to be detected now. So the light cruiser is being detected. We've got this one over here that's being detected. Missiles here just bypassing the Liberty. And these are all French names. I can't say that. I apologize. And even Artemis and the 2 heavy cruisers are all being destroyed, being detected. The heavy cruiser has identified that the light cruiser over here has now been, does have a clear line of sight. So not only going to get some missiles, but we're also going to get some direct fire engagements. Missiles now being launched from the light cruiser up here, likely going to impact on the heavy cruiser. Some terminal weaves on these. Looks like they've been seduced by chaff. Maybe come backing around. They may have a second or a validation here. It's hard to tell. Oh, he's getting hits. Yep. All right, so you got hits right on the rear there of the engines. Reactors are out. Engines are out. Still at 0%, so just a few more missiles or a few more cannons. Likewise, some missiles being counterfired from the Diane now into the Floof. They look like size 2s, but still 2 restores. Looks like they will be able to get away, and even with this one, Auroras should be able to take that one out. Oh, hitting the main gun but not destroying it. No restores on the Diane, so power is down. You can see the fact that that with the orange with the orange windows, and the proof over the proof over here is moving into E now. Got a missile that is a size 3 hybrid here. I wouldn't be surprised if it had a HEKP for as a ship killer. No, damage control teams everywhere. Reactors are down. Drives are being repaired. This one could be on its way out. Is being jammed as well. So not a lot of jamming actually experienced in this game, but the Jesters look like they'll take off the proof. And Floof over here still engaging the Diane, but this one has been taken largely out of the fight for the time being. These are size 2s, likely the HEKP from before. Floof over here, looking like it's fine. A lot of hits. Still coming, still more. Drives, CICs, DC lockers are all being prioritized to get back into point E. This one, not too far away, but not being seen. Missiles are just going around the Floof as well. This one looks like it took some hits from before, so its reactors, both its reactors, its micro reactor and its drivers out, as well as CIC. The Diane not destroyed, but not functioning, so likely just going to sit there now, out of action. Its drives are disabled.
The enemy is securing Zone Atlas.
So Small Cake's been able to get one of his frigates around to point A. It's one of the benefits of this map. Lots of little points to be able to move through. He's taken A, C, D, and hopefully if he gets his drives back online, he can take E. But with the amount of missiles up here, might be hard for this frigate to get away. Well, it looks like it's identified its target. Yeah, hits to the drives. It's got 2 restores, so he's going to get that one working back online. Still functioning, so drives are out. Looks like he's maybe repaired a little bit because he is moving again. But as a result, the return missile fire, it's just going to destroy this now. So it's gone. You can see the grayed out on the top. Missiles still tanking on this heavy cruiser. Doesn't look like, because he's got no restores, he can't restore any of his point defense, so he's just taking subsequent strikes now at the leisure of Avalon. The Floof is gone. The UNSC Wink of an Eye moving into D. Basically just playing that scout capturing, sort of counter capturing game. The frigate in the middle survived, being able to hold this point by Small. It's getting his drive back online. It does have a critical there, but it should be more than enough to be able to repair it. I don't actually have a time ticker to tell me if he'll make it in time. It's hard to say. So it's either going to go up or it's not, which is really the only two options it has. Missiles now getting low. He expended all the missiles out on the Diana. So that just leaves Artemis now with some missiles. Getting fairly low on them. 16, 17, 18, 19. He's only got 19 missiles left. Where is that frigate? Oh, okay, so Small's taken point A, but now he's just tucked that frigate away. Back in here, basically, to safeguard it. A couple more missiles now coming down to point E, so 4 to 1. Now, not all of these other ships have offensive capability, so you just got to remember to hold a missile on some of these ships. Make sure that if you have no offensive capability whatsoever, then you're going to basically give up the game. So you always need to make sure you have at least a little bit of ammunition or a little bit of like a missile or an offensive missile still on something. That allows you to drive around. But the Spy's drive is out. The Floof is gone. There's a ship here that is Capturing grenade? No. Does he have offensive missiles here? He's got one offensive missile here. So that allows him to contest this point. So point remains for Small. Artemis moving down into point C. The frigate here looks like its drive has been repaired, but is just basically staying still. Let's have a look around for Artemis. There it is.
The enemy secured zone dagger.
So 3-2. If it continues this way, it will be Avalon's game. But you know, you still gotta wait. That's a size 3 hybrid there. Question is, where is it going? Sort of arching off to nowhere. Unless he needs to bring it back around. Just get the angle in here. I'm not sure what this missile's doing. Okay. Coming back. It's coming back. That's some good missile control there. There we go. It's going to hit the rock or not? Nah, perfect top-down attack. Damage control teams are going around. Everything, basically just repairing everything. Does this one have any more missiles left? It's got one more missile left. That one's got 6 chaff. That one's got 1 missile. So, yeah, keeping, you know, 1 missile or a couple missiles on a number of different weapons here, or different ships here. 3-2, 100 points to go. So this should be Avalon's game. Whilst they make their final maneuvers, probably important to note that one of the things throughout this game is a lot of the ships weren't really detected. Now I can't see ELINT detection. But a lot of the times they were operating either based on information of something that they saw or something that occurred on the map, like a position being, like a control point being taken, and then from there they were then moving off that control point to do something else. And when they were able to identify roughly where an enemy was, they were then firing subsequent missile volleys, getting another missile over here to get into the scout. And you saw that with Diane and the Floof over here trading fire in terms of missiles. They were, and you also saw it with Artemis onto the heavy cruiser down on E, is that they was basically just sitting there firing based on what it knew, and then from there it was it was identifying, yep, we're getting some hits, so let's keep going in the same position, keep going in the same position. And yeah, that basically was how a lot of that missile warfare looked like it was occurring to me. There we go, some more missiles hitting in. That should be the end of that one. Even with 7 damage control teams, I think that'll just stack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 critical events in that drive. That drive will not survive. That light cruiser, though, may not want to get too close, but where we're at, it probably doesn't matter. I think it's also important to just have a quick chat about the importance of scouting. So you can see that whilst each of the players here has 6,000 points, there was a big emphasis on scouting. So Small brought 1, 2, 3, 5 scouts. Avalon had 4 dedicated scouts, and then they had offensive capability. Now, you know, if you're playing 3K, it's probably not as possible all the time. However, it can be one of those things that, yeah, you still need to bring 1 or 2 scouts within all of your within each of your fleet. So you can't, you really shouldn't ever bring no scouts. It's basically what I want to get at. We can have a quick flick through. These are all just the corvettes, some good sensor warfare here. So you can see a lot of the sensor warfare is really, really good. I think this one took an early hit. Oh no, surrendered at 33 minutes. I think it was behind. The heavy cruisers here, sensor warfare very strong. Didn't do a lot with its cannons, but it just wasn't that type of game. Well, boss said, yeah, this one didn't do as much from what I remember. Okay, so we can see missiles. Okay, let's have a look at missiles. So we're here at home on jammers, which we're targeting some of the scouts of Avalon's. We had, I don't remember seeing any of these deployed, but they did get hits. They must have done the damage to, where's that light cruiser? To Diane, Scout be gone, radars, so being distracted by chaff, HEKP that never actually got on target, and same with here. So missile warfare here was got a couple hits. These were his best ones for the floof, and for this other one, it didn't really get any of the missiles on target, unfortunately. But the point defense was actually pretty good on the floof. Signed. I'm not sure how these are necessarily going, but I think they, you know, those definitely did well. The chaff wasn't chaff didn't do anything. And yeah, so let's actually have a look at Avalon's missiles. So excellent missile warfare, excellent sensors, excellent engineering, because he was able to bring this one, basically keep it up all time. His missiles here, so we had the Shipwreck Block 4, which did a lot of damage. HEKP, that's really what was taking out this one here. So they were basically getting through. The Jesters were getting through with a Wake backup, potentially a Validator, but likely a backup with HE-shaped charges. So Avalon saying he thought that the Diana, which was the one off that was fighting the floof, was going to have a reactor critical debt. So yeah, good. Like, just have a look at the missiles here. So, yeah, so Wake on quite a few of these Jester ones. Basically, they all got through, and none of these ones here from Artemis were actually being shot down. So that's why he's had excellent warfare here. If we come down to Diana, still good missile warfare. You know, you got to be happy with that. Sensor warfare, no missile defense really to be had on either of these light cruisers, so they basically need to sit back and let someone else provide. If they did take other missile fire, such as this missile defense, it's all anti-missile missiles that they rely on. And then same deal, 9 of these got shot down, but they're Jester Block 2s, got most of them through. HE, so again, radar and Wake, so looking Block 2s as well. A couple missed here, but again, still mostly are these. Avalon said he knew he was out of anti-missile missiles, so he brought what? 5? How much did Artemis bring? Yeah, so we only brought 5 anti-missile missiles on this one, so that's not a huge amount when you're considering you're investing in so many points. But then that's the style of missile gameplay. If we had a look at the scouts, I think the scouts were just, you know, you can see that all of the sensor warfare here is basically pretty good. Same types of missiles, radar, and Wake homing. Look, this one here, excellent missile, excellent sensor. Just a really good game, I think. Right, so I hope you enjoyed that, enjoyed the missile versus missile gameplay. Hopefully we can get a few more games being recorded, both of 4v4s and 1v1s. So thanks for watching and take care.